Hi, and welcome back to the Art House. I'm Elise. It has been 2 weeks since I started my initial seed trays for my garden this coming summer, and I now have 7 trays going. These two, I just started. They have more flower seeds, more zinnias, and then more zinnias. I think they're both zinnias. They're both still on heat mats, right? Because the seeds are still germinating and because nothing has popped through yet. So they're gonna be in this little alignment for the next probably 3 to 4 days, and then they'll move to the grow lights, which look like this. I have on the table in front of me there's 5 trays that are all under grow lights, and these are on a timer. So they run from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. on the timer, and they're training all of my seedlings to expect daylight, to understand daylight, and to grow, obviously, towards the daylight. This was the first tray that I started that I have here. This one is the veggies, and it is full of tomatoes, tomatillos, jalapenos. This is supposed to be peppers. Nothing's happened yet, but something will. And then cucumbers on the end. And when you look at it, you can see that the cucumbers are by far the biggest. These are just about ready to be upplanted. Probably in the next couple days, I'm going to move them to slightly larger homes, give them dirt with a bit more nutrients, and let them continue to grow, right? They're gonna outgrow their space here. You can see that they're about to get their first true leaves. In the beginning, the first leaves that come up are called cotyledones, that are just, they're the food. They're the initial food for the plant. I saw when I was Googling, they're called snack packs. These will eventually shrivel up and die, but they're just the beginning to give the plant its first dose of food. And so you can tell that the new leaves, the true leaves, are gonna come right from the center, and we'll get to kind of see those come in. So this is my tomatoes, this is my first veggie tray. I wanna show you what the second tray that I started 2 weeks ago is currently looking like. So here's this one. It's not too, I mean, it's much different than it was, but you can tell, like, the reason I wanted to start this so early is these are so tiny. This is my clusters of basil. Some of the pansies and viola are coming in, and then the calendula on the end. So that's all getting a little bit bigger. 1 week ago, I started a tray of flowers. This one is marigolds. It is cosmos here in the center, hollyhock, and then a bunch of straw flowers. So all of this has had 1 week of growth, and it's fine. It's doing all right. It's gonna take a bit, and that's okay. Got a lot of time until it's time to plant. Then also in last week's video, I was starting some of my saved zinnia seeds. These were the ones that I pre-sprouted and I tucked into the soil once they had a root. So once I knew that they were gonna be viable. And you can see that those are all coming through pretty well. Most of the cells here have their little plant, which they should, right? Because we knew it was alive. And the only thing I'm doing now is I'm obviously giving these light under the grow lights, and then I water all of these trays from the bottom, and I just pour the water directly into the bottom tray, and then because there's holes in the bottom of each cell, the plants and the roots can suck it right up. So I'm like, do I water daily? Kind of, yes. I sort of just like feel, like, how light does this feel? If it feels light, I add water. Feels heavy, I don't add water. I take a peek and I see how dry it is. But all these are doing really well. My goal, my hope, is that I can just keep the zinnias in this cell over the next 6-ish weeks, and I won't have to do too much upplanting before they can go into the garden. But we'll see. We'll see how they do. And that's it. That's the beginning of my plants, and I'm just gonna continue to show you weekly, maybe every other week, as they grow until we get to put them into the garden. So very exciting. Thanks for watching, and obviously always more at elisejoy.com.